I caught it quicker this time. I didn't go too far. I caught it quick this time. What's up, everybody? Yeah, slow news day. I figured we'll talk about this Iran stuff. But you know, we also got a bunch of other stuff. We got, Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad calling for revolution. A bunch of just little clips of this and that, and then more people talking about the Alex Pretty situation. But we'll kick it off talking about this Iran stuff. And it really feels like they could probably pull some shit off with Iran right now and people won't care. I think people are just, they're tuned out with Iran right now. They're not even paying attention. I don't know. I'm guessing if we like actually started bombing them, it would become big news right now, but no one's paying attention right now. Seems to be falling under the radar. I know it was for me, but it does look like they're ramping it back up, trying again. Trying to push for old regime change again in Iran. My hope is that this is just posturing, the latest threats and warnings from Trump to possibly get them to stop killing protesters. You know, maybe they'll stop. I don't know. For me, I don't give a shit about Iran right now. I don't care about Iran. We have so much crap to deal with here in America right now. I just don't think we have time to be dealing with Iran, any sort of foreign bullshit right now. You know, we might be having a fucking civil war and we're sitting here thinking about starting wars with other people. It's a little stupid. Here's Trump talking about it. Here's what the latest on it is. So yeah, Trump has repeatedly warned that time is running out for Iran to negotiate a new nuclear deal, emphasizing no nuclear weapons. He referenced a massive armada, including the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, heading towards Iran, ready for action with speed and violence if necessary. This follows U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in the summer of 2025 during a conflict with Israel. So remember, we were supposed to like really fucked up, like we set their nuclear program back so many years, and it's like, no, we kind of knew that was bullshit, right? We kind of knew they were overstating the damage to the nuclear program. So apparently we got to do it again. The Pentagon, via Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, stated the U.S. military is prepared to act on whatever Trump decides to prevent Iran from pursuing nuclear capabilities. Trump is reportedly reviewing options, including potential strikes, but no final decision has been made. I mean, how the fuck does he have the time to ever deal with domestic issues if everything is just all foreign bullshit? It's all like, oh, what's Israel want us to do today? Oh, bro. We got a lot of problems in this country. And you're a little too worried about other shit going on right now that really doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what happens in Iran. Look, I'm sorry if Iran kills a bunch of people, a bunch of protesters. Did they kill Americans? I don't care. We don't have time. Look, we either go full empire and just take over the whole fucking world, or we stop playing the police for the world, okay? We either go in and take everything and go, it's ours now, or we just stop playing around and let's actually fix our country. Iran's response has been defiant. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and other officials says forces are fingers on the trigger and ready for an immediate and powerful retaliation against any U.S. attack, including on U.S. interests, Israel, or allies. Iran recently unveiled new drones and murals warning of the consequences. Diplomatic efforts. Iran is engaging Turkey to avert conflict and may offer concessions on its nuclear program. No direct U.S.-Iran talks have occurred in years. Tension spiked amid Iran's recent bloody crackdown on nationwide anti-government protests, with thousands killed, which Trump initially tied to potential U.S. intervention before shifting focus to nuclear missile issues and proxy support. U.S. officials demand Iran halt uranium enrichment, limit missiles, and curb proxies. So yeah, it looks like this is we're going to ramp up to this again, and I think it's very important that we do like we did last time, which is we basically let Trump know that, no, this is not what we want you doing. No, we do not support regime change. No, we don't support strategic strikes of Iran. No, we don't support any of that shit. You know what we support? Let's get the cost of housing down. Let's make living affordable again. Let's get rid of all the fucking crooks that seem to be above the law in this country who are waging insurrection against the government. Let's focus on that shit, dude. everything but focus on the real problems at home. But here's him talking about it.
Have you had any conversations with Iran in the last few days, and are you planning on any?
I have had, and I am planning on it, yeah. We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now.
They should be selling to fucking Minnesota right now. That's where they should be selling to.
And it would be great if we didn't have
We should be fucking blockading Minnesota, dude.
to use them.
Can you say what the message was that you shared with Iranians?
Well, I told them two things. Number one, no nuclear. And number two, stop killing protesters.
I'm hoping this is just a strategic move and Trump has no interest in starting a war or doing any more strikes. That's my hope. But with Trump, you just don't know.
They're killing them by the thousands. You know, I stopped 837 hangings 2 weeks ago. But they're going to have to do something. Nobody's seen anything like this.
Yeah, this is not what we voted for you to do, Trump. We didn't vote for you. Oh, take care of Iran. We voted for you to just back off all the Middle East bullshit. Stop with the neocon warmongering. That's why we supported you. And then you're putting all this time and effort into that shit, and it feels like a fucking betrayal, dude. What message did you share with the Iranians? Oh, by the way, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Smash a thumbs up if you can. Links are in the description if you want to support. Much love. Hope everybody's doing good out there tonight.
Can you say what the message was that you shared with Iranians?
Well, I told them two things. Number one, no nuclear.
Yeah, we already saw this. I didn't know it was a double up clip. Double up clip. Countdown to war with Iran, the Alex Jones show. We'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about the cost, okay? Because there's a big cost if we want to fucking go to war with Iran, right? Let's talk about deaths. How many people will die? What's the ballpark estimates on the amount of people that would die if we decided to go all out regime change in Iran? U.S. coalition military deaths, 5,000 to 20 plus thousand Americans dead over 5 to 10 plus years. Higher end if prolonged, where U.S. losses exceed 7,000 combined. Initial invasion phase might see lower hundreds to low thousands if air dominance holds, but urban guerrilla fighting could spike it. Iranian military deaths, 50,000 to 200,000 dead. Iranian civilian deaths, this is a big number. And we care about Iran, but yet we're going to go to war and it probably would equal 100,000 to over 1 million dead Iranian civilians. That sounds wonderful.
At Freggy
That'll make them love us.
Super chatted $10. Global powers are gonna be so fed up with constantly threatening certain doom that they're soon gonna say fuck it and hit the button.
This is gonna be like
then back to bananas and rice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. Iran has nuclear weapons too, right? So, I'm sure they're capable of shooting off a nuke still. So yeah, let's start a war with a country like that. That's a good idea. That's brilliant. That's why I do think it's a lot of posturing, I think. But thank you for the $10, Reggie. Hope you're doing good. So yeah, it could be 1 million plus Iranian civilians dead. That's great. You know, it's not like all the fucking around in the Middle East has made them like us more. So what does it matter? There's another 1 million dead civilians. Total deaths, all sides, including proxies, regional spillover, 200,000 to 2 million plus dead on all sides. Over the conflict's life, including long-term effects, limited scenarios, airstrikes plus internal collapse could keep it under 100,000. Full invasion/insurgency pushes toward the higher end with risk of millions if nuclear escalation or massive oil disruption causes global famine, energy crisis. Okay, and that's just the cost of human life. Now let's talk about the cost of doing this for our economy. How much is this going to cost us, dude? Direct military occupation cost, $1 to $3 trillion. A prolonged forever war could double that. And if we do a regime change, it's going to be another forever war, okay? So that's probably a low-end fucking estimation. Total long-term U.S. costs, including veterans, interest, economic drag, 2 to 6 plus trillion. Obviously, this is ballpark estimates, right? Just so you can get an idea. 2 to 6 plus trillion over decades. Older estimates for full invasion scenarios pegged global economic losses at 1.7 to 2.8 trillion in the first few months alone, mostly from oil shocks. U.S. share would be substantial. Okay. Oil energy shock component. So here's the other thing that would be a huge fucking deal, because you remember this happened and it fucking sent prices surging Closing the Strait of Hormuz could spike global oil prices. 100 to 300% short term, adding hundreds of billions in U.S. GDP losses via inflation. We're about to, Trump is hinting that we're going to have like a 7% GDP. And that's fucking insane. And that would be great for the economy. So yeah, do you want to wreck your beautiful fucking growth that you've created, Trump, by doing this? Don't be retarded, bro. Yeah, closing the Strait of Hormuz could spike global oil prices 100 to 300% short term, adding hundreds of billions in U.S. GDP losses via inflation, higher fuel, transport costs, and recession. Even partial disruption, proxies attacking Gulf shipping, adds trillions globally over years. Broader global impact 1 to 3+ trillion in first years from supply chain chaos, markets, etc., with U.S. bearing a large portion via higher defense budgets and lost trade. So yeah, that sounds wonderful. 8 trillion total cost. So these figures draw from patterns in post 9/11 wars. 8 trillion total U.S. costs for Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Iran specific hypotheticals. Experts from Brookings Cost of War Project generally warn that benefits are uncertain while cost risks are staggeringly high, often deeming full regime change profoundly unwise due to blowback, no clear endgame, and potential to empower worse actors. Yeah. The other thing I think they're hoping for is like the riots. Like they have a revolution in Iran. It's like, okay, that's always great when the mob takes over a fucking nuclear armed country. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about there either. So yeah, possibly millions of civilians dead. Unforeseen, unimaginable amount of cost that will fucking really be bad for the economy. So yeah, I'm not really down for this, guys. I'm not down for this. But let's hope it's posturing. Let's hope it's all just political posturing, just to get them scared, so they'll stop killing the fucking the people that are rioting in the streets or whatever. Let's see what Alex has to say.
Very, very dangerous on a lot of fronts. And Eric Prince, who's a military expert, as you know, had this to say. Here it is.
The question is, who actually takes over? Iran has multi-layers of governance. Sure, the top layer is an awful, putrid one of a bunch of crazy mullahs, not loved by anyone, in fact, hated. But the fact is, if you remove that, who actually takes over? It's not going to be the Reza Pahlavi, the son of the Shah. There is no other natural leader. The protesters in the streets, yeah, some have been killed. Don't know if it's 30,000 or if it's 3,000 or if it's 300. Any number of that is terrible, but not our problem. It is not the primary responsibility of the United States. And I do not want U.S. foreign policy dictated by what is good for Tel Aviv.
So we need to put pressure, call the White House, go on Truth Social, talk radio, you name it. Everything you say is heard and has an effect.
Yeah, wars are great for the economy, but not the way we fight them. Somebody said, I thought wars are great for the economy. Fake flowers. Not the way we fight them. If we go full empire and we just take over everything and we go, Iran is now America and we own all of your resources now. And you're going to fucking bend the knee or, face the consequences. But no, we don't do that. We go and just spend a ton of fucking money, put in a new regime, and then leave it. The way we do it, it's good for, like, obviously the people that are in the war business. But for the general economy, like, think about Iraq, Afghanistan. How many trillions of debt did we add going there? Like, that did not help the fucking economy. It became a drag on the economy that we're still dealing with now because we have more debt because of it. Now, if we owned Iraq and Iraq was now one of our assets and we had access to everything, we owned everything. Iraq was a new state of America. I mean, it'd be different if we behave that way. That's why, like, if we're going to be warmongers, let's go full on warmonger. Let's start drafting all the best athletes. Like, fuck the NFL, fuck the NBA and all that. Let's go take those guys and conscript them into the military. So we got LeBron fucking James fighting, we got all the best fucking linebackers out there. And yeah, let's take over the world. Let's do it. Not this pussy shit where we just go and fucking inflame everything and spend a whole bunch of money and it doesn't even benefit America. Stop wasting my time with this bullshit is what I'm saying.
Call into C-SPAN, whatever. shoot your own videos on X or Instagram, wherever, and say, hands off Iran. We don't regime change, because all the experts agree you can get somebody in even worse with all the factions that are there. It'll end up being probably a big failed state. Or Iran that, despite CIA funding of tens of billions and all the rest of it, held off the Iraqis for 7 years. I mean, this is a dangerous situation. With Iran, he said, we're just striking them to get their nuclear program. Oh, it was so successful, he said, whether true or not.
Was not.
And I said, Israel just wants the nose out of the tent flap, the camel's nose in the tent flap. It'll be, well, we got to take out their missiles next. We got to, and there you go. That's where we are. And Trump said he was going to back the uprising. He usually tries to do what he says he's going to do. And so we're just walking into a total trap here. And this is a foreign government that wants this, that's lobby is pushing this. This would not be happening. The Pentagon doesn't want this if Israel wasn't trying to exert itself and control our policy. That's wrong.
I mean, what? I don't understand. Who gives a fuck what Israel wants, dude? Who gives a fuck? We got to do what's good for this country, dude. I don't give a fuck. I mean, if we were like balling right now and our economy was amazing and we didn't have a bunch of corrupt politicians running everything that were fucking over the American citizens, okay, maybe we could be world police because we're bored. We got nothing else to do. We got plenty of other things to do right now. Okay, we got a lot of shit to do. That's like worried about your neighbor's house being dirty when your house is a fucking pigsty. It's like you got shit on the floor, bro. You ain't fucking swept the floor. You ain't cleaned the carpets. The carpets smell like mildew and shit. You got your stupid cat running around dropping shit in the litter box all day long, and it smells like feces every time you walk in. But you're worried about your neighbors. Oh, he hasn't mowed his lawn in a couple of days. The grass is getting a little high. Oh, the front porch. It's like, bitch, your house is fucking disgusting. Worry about your house. I think it's a longer
version. The Iran
version.
issue keeps getting dragged back to the top of the focus. I'm with you. Let's deal with the communists in our own cities and clean that rot out before we worry about Iran exactly 8,000 miles away from the United
Eric
States.
Prince. I don't know who you are,
The
but
White House, pressure on Congress, and let them know we do not want to go to war with Iran. They're now expanding how big the attacks will be from last time. It was supposedly just one attack, and that was it. Now it's a bigger attack. That's not good, Trump. We support your agenda overall, but we don't support this. So let President Trump know. Let's deal with the communists here at home.
Of governance, sure, the top layer is an awful, putrid one of a bunch of crazy mullahs.
What's up, Apophis? How's everybody doing?
Hated. But the fact is, if you remove that, who actually takes over? It's not going to be the Reza Pahlavi, the son of the Shah. There is no other natural leader. The protesters in the streets, yeah, some have been killed. Don't know if it's 30,000 or.
Eric Prince, isn't he the guy that does security details for important? I remember hearing his name when they were worried about Trump, when Trump was running for office, and they almost killed him. They were like, they need to get Eric Prince to protect him. I think is that where I remember his name? Because I do remember his name.
If it's 3,000 or if it's 300, any number of that is terrible, but not our problem. It is not the primary responsibility of the United States, and I do not want U.S. foreign policy dictated by what is good for Tel Aviv. And I feel like that the Iran issue keeps getting dragged back to the top of the focus. I'm with you. Let's deal with the communists in our own cities and clean that rot out before we worry about Iran exactly 8,000 miles away from the United States.
I mean, that's a way to really wreck your country, is while your country is literally on fire, let's go start wars and across the ocean with people that does shit. That would be one of the dumbest decisions ever, bro. It would be fucking stupid.
Eric Prince on the War Room with Steve Bannon yesterday in just 2
Oh, he's the owner of Blackwater. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
minutes gave the best boil down of why it's a horrible idea for the United States to launch major military strikes against Iran that Trump is saying is going to be much bigger than the strikes launched last year that they said were successful, knocking their nuclear program back decades. So now we're supposed to knock out the ballistic missiles that are conventional because they threaten Israel. This is the U.S. going against our own interest and the interest of world peace and endangering the world economy for Israel. And our government, our military, our country is not the attack dog of Israel and should never be. Also, Prince makes the point that we have a globalist communist uprising in this country that is trying to destabilize and bring down the nation with Cloward and Piven, and these wars over there for Israel only energizes the communists more. We need to clean up the rot, the real threat, and the civil war they're trying to stage. Americans want to worry about the homeland. The Iranians are going, they've already voted to do it, that if they're attacked in a major attack, they're going to sink a bunch of ships in the Strait of Hormuz. That will double oil prices. That will just be a disaster for Trump's economic plan.
It's one of the few things that Trump can point to that's without debate. Okay, yeah, you got the price of oil down. So let's fuck up the Strait of Hormuz, and all of a sudden, that victory goes out the window. One of the few fucking things you can point to without a doubt and go, okay, he did get the cost of energy down. I really think it makes no sense for him to want to pursue strikes in Iran or especially regime change in Iran. So this has to be more of this posturing shit where he's just trying to get them to play ball by scaring them or something. It has to be, dude.
Don't do it. But Israel's emboldened by all their successes against Hezbollah and Hamas, which fine, great. And Netanyahu's a wartime president. He needs to be able to stay in power. The wartime prime minister, he needs to try to stay in power by being a wartime leader. Well, that's his issue. Where's the investigation on October 7th to stand down Netanyahu? Or you doubling the money to Hamas months before the attack? Yeah, Israel founded Hamas. I mean, these are the realities we have to talk about. These are the facts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I agree. I think they make a good point. Here's Ron Paul. Last summer, President Trump said all 3 nuclear sites in Iran were completely destroyed and or obliterated. It would take years to bring them back into service. Yes, I remember. I remember this. Why is President Trump threatening war with Iran over nuclear weapons again? Ron Paul is still alive.
We keep seeing preparations for more and more war. The war games are dealing with Iran into the Middle East and elsewhere. The dissensions between the Europeans and the U.S. are something that wouldn't happen if he had decent foreign policy, but it still is a problem that could amount to something else because all these countries might have to pick sides one of these times. I see, and I think you agree, Daniel, that much of this is our own doing. Yeah, there's a lot of evil out there, but it seems like our foreign policy of interventionism has not been beneficial to us or to the world and the peace that we seek.
I agree.
And even it hasn't been beneficial to President Trump. I mean, he's facing a midterm election. I've looked at several polls.
Who the fuck is this guy with his blue glasses? What are you doing, bro? Did you have to pick the blue glasses of all the colors? You picked blue? You're like, yeah, I don't want to look like a normal person. I want to look like a freak show with my blue glasses.
Showing that the Democrats, just a generic
he could be a good dude.
Democrats are doing very well. And President Trump himself recognizes this. I think it was last week that he said, he's quoted as having said, I'm moving toward losing the midterms. And if I lose the midterms, I'm finished, is what he said. So he's clearly recognizes.
Yeah, so keep threatening to do the thing that everybody voted for you not to do. That's really going to help in the midterms, guys. You know what would help in the midterms? Getting the cost of rent down, which he came out and said this shit today. It's like, dude, sometimes he says the dumbest fucking shit. And I realize, like, Trump was the lesser of two evils. No doubt about it. He's better than Kamala. But we need somebody else. We need the real guy to stand up. Like, Trump was just the guy to kind of just stand there until the real guy stands up. We need a real fighter who's, okay, yeah, it's a popularity contest during the election. I get that. But once you're elected, you got to stop thinking about the popularity contest. And you got to start thinking about, how do I deliver for the American people? And if you deliver for the American people and you make their life better, you don't really have to play a popularity contest. Because people realize, oh shit, he's actually made my life better. I don't know, man. I'm ready to find who the new guy is. I'm like, who's the new guy? Who's the new guy that's going to be our hope and promise of actually fixing this country, because clearly Trump's not it. He's just, again, not as bad as the other side. Okay.
One of the things Scott said, though, is, again, existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes.
Bro, if you keep the prices up, nobody's going to fucking buy them. So what does it matter if my home is worth so much fucking money and I can look on paper and feel like I'm so wealthy if nobody is willing to buy the fucking house because it's overpriced, it's outpriced itself from any normal person being able to buy it? How is that helpful? You need to collapse the market. You need to crush it. I want to buy a house for $15, okay? That's what I want.
So that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy
It's
a home.
okay,
We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like they've,
Fuck them. They're going to be dead in 5 minutes, dude. What about the rest of the population that needs a place to fucking stay, bro? I need a place to stay, bro. Can you get the cost down, all right? Please.
They're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive.
Then you don't want to fix the problem, retard. That's how you fix this problem. Doesn't get fixed if the cost of housing doesn't go down. Okay? Or you need some magic pill that's going to make it where everybody makes like 100,000 times more than they already make, which is not going to fucking happen, by the way. You got nothing but like pain coming for people that work for a living in the future, because you got robotics, you got AI, you got all that. So the goal would be to say, you know what? Sorry, homeowners, we've kind of placated to you for so long now, but now we're going to have to placate to non-homeowners, and we're going to have to build more houses, and we're going to have to make them as affordable as possible. And we're going to do everything we can to drive down the cost of living for people. And the biggest thing, like people talk about food. Yes, food is more expensive. Yes. Rent. It's fucking rent. That's the biggest hurdle for people, dude. If you get rent down, people can handle the increase that the food, and food is going to, probably go down as well over time. Hopefully. I mean, we need more heifers so we can get more fucking beef out there. But I don't know, man. Sometimes he says shit like this, and it's like, are you? Fuck, I didn't know you were retarded, Trump. I wasn't familiar with your retardation. I mean, I know you make some bad decisions now and then, but this is just retarded, dude.
Housing prices up for people that own their homes, and they can be assured that's what's going to happen. One of the things Scott said, though, is
you can still, where I'm from, if you really look hard, you can still get, someone was saying 600 rent where? I mean, you can get like the basic fucking bottom of the line apartment for like $700 a month. There are places, but I'm in San Antonio, Texas, so it's different. So if you just want to live by yourself, you can probably get a deal every now and then. Because as I drive, I've seen like apartments advertising like $700 for an apartment, 700 something. And then they add all these fees to everything, so it's like ends up being $100 more after they add the convenience fee and that fee. And that's one thing Trump could do as well, is get rid of all these bullshit fees and everything, dude. Everywhere you go, there's a convenience fee, a transaction fee. It's bullshit. And then they advertise something like, oh, this is only $99. And then after fees, it's like $250. It's like, what the fuck? That should be illegal, dude.
Again, existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up.
Kaido, that might be what's going on, Kaido. It's nobody is informing him of what his base thinks, like you just said. That could be what's going on, dude. He might be completely fucking out of touch. But, I mean, it's just, do you need somebody to inform you the basic common sense shit of like, hey, rent is really high and that's not good for the economy. And that's a real thing that's really causing pain for the average American. Like, you can't just look at rent prices and see that. You need somebody to tell you that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his fucking head, bro. Maybe he's more worried about the old fogey voters in the Republican Party not showing up or something. It's like, no, you need to be winning the younger voters, dude. You need to be getting all those people who are disillusioned right now and start promising them that you're going to do something about this. And I guarantee you start talking about how we're going to get the cost of living down, specifically rent, we're going to make living affordable again, and you make that the focus of your message every single fucking day, and people start seeing you taking steps to doing that, your fucking approval rating will go up, retard. Okay? Okay, retard? That's all. Stop talking about Iran. Stop talking about all this other bullshit. Focus on what American people actually need so they can get some relief in their fucking life.
Not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like they've, that they're wealthy people. And
yeah, they feel like they're wealthy people. But, the problem is when you try to sell something that's overpriced, it's great, right? Oh, I'm worth $400,000, but then no one's willing to buy that house for $400,000. Guess what? It's not worth $400,000. So yeah, even the way he said it's almost like he knows.
Lives feel good about themselves. They feel like they've, that they're wealthy people.
They feel like they're wealthy people, but they really aren't, because nobody's gonna buy these overpriced houses. So yeah, let's fuck everybody over so they can feel like they're wealthy, bro. What is going on with this guy?
And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen. Thanks, Scott.
I mean, so this is the shit he's talking about domestically while he's hinting at another fucking war, which there are times where it's like somebody needs to slap some common sense back into him. Then he needs to be woken the fuck up. Right? So yeah, let's go to war while we're dealing with shit like this. Here's another person just walking around in Minnesota who they just all of a sudden decide, hey, you're a Nazi. And he works for TSA. The dude works for TSA and they don't care. TSA, ICE, DHS, all the same thing now.
Oh, you can show me, but
you want to harass people, huh? No. How does it feel to be fucking harassed?
No.
So he did not deny he does work for. He did not deny it.
We're from TSA.
He did not. Look. Fucking matter. How does it fucking feel? He did not deny it. He did not deny it. How does it fucking feel to be harassed? Look.
I don't even know if they understand that TSA is not ICE. Do they even understand it? Do they even know? Or are they like what I've been saying? Actually, they don't give a fuck about ICE. They don't care if it's ICE. They don't care if it's DHS. They don't care if it's Border Patrol. They're at war with the federal government. That's really what they're at war with, and what they want to take down.
How does it feel? Look, he said it. He said it was him. He said it was him.
This is the type of woman that during the French Revolution, if you upset her, she would have got you hung. She would have ran to the mob and been like, he's one of them. He's not for the people. And then you'd get hung in the street because of a crazy bitch like that.
How does it feel to be harassed? He said it. He confirmed it is you. He confirmed. He confirmed. Look. They confirmed it. He confirmed.
I want to make whistles illegal. Okay? The only time you can now blow a whistle is if you're being raped. If you're being raped, you can blow the whistle, okay? But like the whistles, now when people hear a whistle, they're not going to think, oh, there must be a woman getting raped or something. No, they're going to think, oh, it's just these crazy fucking insane bitches again. I wonder how many women are going to get raped and they're going to blow their rape whistle and no one's going to care because they're just going to think, oh, they're just more ICE bullshit. Same thing with the horn honking. To me, honking your horn's a big deal. I know some of you are like from New York where y'all just ride the horn all fucking day. Where I grew up, you don't ride the horn. The horn is for fucking emergencies, dude. You don't go honking the horn just because you're annoyed. You honk the horn to avoid a fucking crash. It's for emergencies. And when you're hearing horns all day long, when you do hear a horn, you might not be as quick to react because you're already kind of immune to that sound or used to hearing it all day. So that is a public safety risk as well. No, he works for TSA, you dumb broad.
Lo confirmó.
See, this guy thinks it's funny until they actually start like lynching people in the streets like that. If this continues and is allowed to continue to escalate, that's where you arrive at. You arrive at like, oh, okay, this is no longer funny. Now they actually want to kill me. This woman actually has a mob, and if she blows her whistle and points at me, they're gonna come and fucking kill me. It's not funny in the long run.
Yeah, we saw you. We saw you messed up. You came out with another guy, and I can show you the whole video.
This right here doesn't do shit for you guys.
You're on the video. I saw you yesterday. You're gonna tell me it's not me?
Must be an Asian guy, but
You don't remember me yesterday? I was.
So they're confusing one Asian guy with another Asian guy. That's racist. So like all Asians look the same to you, huh? Weird.
I was on there with you. Come on.
Wow,
you're lying.
Women are the worst too because they'll never admit they're wrong. They'll never admit it. Like you could like show them your TSA badge and be like, TSA, I clearly I don't work for ICE, and they'll keep doubling, tripling down. Everything but admit that they made a mistake. You know, most of them are not capable of doing that. Gay Batman has a meltdown in front of city council over ICE coming to Santa Clara. Oh boy.
I don't want you to sit back and watch. I want you to fucking do something. Each and every one of these people who have came up has been very polite, very earnest, very kind, pleading you.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this has got to be Alex Stein. This has got to be an Alex Stein bit. No, it's not. This seems to be 100% legit.
Begging you to do something. I'm not begging you. I'm fucking demanding that you act with some semblance of a fucking spine. Do something.
Now, Batman would never cuss that much. Okay, you're clearly not the real Batman. He walks away. Let's watch him waddle away. Fat, overweight, out of shape Batman.
A fucking spine. Do something.
Vegan Batman. We got vegan Batman out here.
Thank you.
Holding it down. What the fuck? Santa Clara, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. Candace is doing well. Let's check in on Candace. See how she's doing.
Get comfortable, you guys, because it is going to be a long week. I have so many explosive revelations to share with you.
Oh, man. It's not looking good. I have a revelation as well. I have a revelation that just came to me, Candace. My revelation says that you're a fucking moron. Yeah, dude. They're really getting fucking unhinged, man. Here's another one. Here's another unhinged leftist.
An ICU nurse in Minneapolis. Multiple agents held him down. A U.S. citizen, and pistol whipped him, and then shot him while he was on the fucking ground.
I don't remember a pistol whipping, sir. Was there a pistol whipping? I do not remember that. I do not remember a pistol whipping. By the way, what was he doing there? What was he doing there?
Oh, he's dead!
Yes, he is.
What the actual fuck is happening in this country?
Well, what's happening is you guys are deranged, right? Like, if you just pause your video at any time and look at yourself, you'll probably understand that you're a fucking deranged lunatic. And you believe a bunch of fairy tale nonsense, and you think you're going to wage war against the federal government because Tim Walz told you were a brave, powerful woman and can do anything. And, you know, sometimes when you decide to fight the police, sometimes you end up dead. That's how we got here.
This is a fucking execution in broad.
Bro, you're spitting. Stop spitting. Stop spitting. Nice teeth. You're taking good care of your teeth. I appreciate that. But I don't know about your mental health. Okay?
Daylight. And after the shooting, ICE tried to force the local cops to back off, to leave the fucking scene. Tell me what the fuck is happening.
Now, imagine you're watching this and then you realize, oh my God, that's Pradeep. That's the dude that works at fucking in my IT department at my business. Fuck. What do you do? What do you do? You find out this is Pradeep and he works at your company. What do you do? Do you go, he's fine? Or do you go, fuck, this guy's probably going to shoot the office up at some point. I better find an excuse to fire his ass, bro. I would not want to work around somebody like this, dude. To me, this is giving me mass shooter vibes, honestly.
When an arm of the government starts acting like a fucking death squad, when mothers, fathers, people in our communities are being shot on our streets without any accountability. You don't get to shoot some.
Well, yeah, there was accountability. The accountability was for you guys. You guys got accountability. And the accountability was one of you dying. Because that's what happens when you wage war against the federal government. It's like one thing if like the government was like actually, I mean, yeah, it's obviously not perfect. The government sucks in a lot of ways. But like, you know, if there was like actual concentration camp, there's like some like really nasty shit going on. You know, maybe I could defend it in that case. But all that's going on here is ICE is, you know, DHS, Border Patrol are enforcing the laws that were democratically passed that the people of this country support. It's not that big a deal, bro. Stop fighting the police. That's all. Stop fighting the police.
And walk away. You don't get to do that shit in our fucking street.
Dong dong. Oh, here comes the Undertaker. This reminds me of like a WWE promo. Like you could just want to hear somebody else's music kick off and then somebody's running to the stage. And this is like a WWE promo, bro. I don't know how real this is. I tend to think it's real, but I mean, this is unhinged levels of unhinged. This is like call the cops level of unhinged. This is like lock him up, fucking, he needs a mental health evaluation stat levels of insanity, bro.
This is a human rights crisis. This is America turning into a fucking police state.
What is a police state? Can you tell me what a police state is? Please define police state for me. They love to use that term, police state. It's like, yeah, there are some aspects of police state bullshit that are kind of creeping in. I'll agree with that. But again, enforcing laws that are passed democratically, that's not police state shit. That's why we have police, to enforce the laws that people want to pass. But yeah, I bet you this guy couldn't even tell you what a police state is.
And we will not stay quiet. We will not sit back. We will not act like this is fucking normal. Get in the fucking streets. Get loud. Get angry.
And get killed. That's what happens. Hopefully not. We don't want anybody to die. But this guy's gonna rile up more people to act like Renee Good and fucking Alex or whatever, pretty. And they're gonna go out and be pretty good and dead. I don't know, man. Calm down, dude. Just calm down.
And fucking stand for
The amount of spit that flew out of this guy's mouth as he was speaking. I didn't know people had that much saliva. Maybe he's got rabies, dude. Maybe that's what's going on. He might legitimately have rabies. Charlemagne the God, every now and then he has a good take. And then every now and then he has a take like this that reminds me that, like, this guy's a bit of an idiot.
I mean, I don't think it adds another layer at all. In fact, it makes the ICE agents look worse because
He's talking about the latest video with Purdy.
We saw Alex Purdy get assaulted twice, and not once did he reach for his gun. Not at all.
So because Purdy didn't reach for his gun, like, you understand we're talking about law enforcement here? You expect law enforcement to just, like, do MMA combat in the streets? Like, oh, okay, you pussy law enforcement, how come you didn't fucking have a jiu-jitsu match with them in the street? They're not gonna fuck around and risk getting hurt, bro. They're gonna pull their guns out every single time. Oh, but he didn't pull his gun out. What the fuck does that have to do with anything, dude? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Doesn't matter if he didn't pull his gun out. I swear to God, these people just they don't want to admit what's in front of their faces because they know they're going to get so much hate from a certain segment of the population, a certain segment of their audience. So he's got to double, triple down, even in the face of overwhelming evidence of what is actually going on. Because this is stupid. This is a dumb fucking take.
Purdy get assaulted twice, and not once did he reach for his gun.
Not at all.
Can ICE agents say the same?
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? He got assaulted twice by ICE agents, and not once did he reach.
He got assaulted by ICE agents? Really? Weird. I guess it's assault now when you attack federal officers and they have to actually subdue you and try to arrest you. Weird. And then the second time, people are like, well, he didn't do anything that time. No, he still did. He was still in the street, obstructing the fucking operation, trying to like signal cars to like block. Like he was trying to coordinate the blocking in of ICE. And they came to shove him off the fucking street. And when they shoved that chick who was doing the same thing, she wasn't just an innocent bystander. He stepped in there and put his hands on a law enforcement officer. You just don't do that. Like, you're stupid if you do that. Obviously, to them, it's like, oh, well, there's no big deal. He just put his hands on. No, you don't do that, dude. They're telling you to get off the street, and your response is to go put your hands on him. So yeah, they tried to arrest him, and if he would have just let them fucking arrest him the first time, he would have still been alive. The second time, if he would have just let them arrest him and just went like every bad guy in every fucking movie goes, okay, you got me, and just did that, he'd still be alive. But no, he was trained by a bunch of deranged commies to keep struggling. Why? Because they wanted somebody to get shot. So they could do exactly what they're doing here, which is to emotionally manipulate the population to supporting their commie fucking BS that's all masked under love and caring for people when it's just communism. It's just communism, guys. This is a really dumb fucking take. Brett Weinstein, he's usually not too stupid. Let's see what he says. Brett Weinstein on Alex Pritty's reckless gun behavior. I think I'm going to like this one better.
I don't know that Pretty knew he had bought a infamous gun, one prone to go off. That's certainly so widely described in gun circles that I knew it right away. It's widely described. It's discussed everywhere. But he might not have known. Maybe he walked into a gun store.
Still on the market?
Yep. Weirdly. Well, Sig Sauer claims to have solved the problem. I think there's a fair amount of evidence that the problem remains.
I mean, the family of Pretty should sue Sig Sauer because this seems like a pretty well-documented issue at this point. And, you know, by the way, if you are going to bring a gun, like if you're going to carry it all, carry a gun that doesn't misfire. How about that? How about having the basic common sense to carry a gun that doesn't just randomly fucking go off? That seems like a bad idea to decide, like, the gun I'm going to carry with me is a gun that might just randomly go off at any time. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a lawsuit there, dude.
And there's always the question of a manufacturer of anything is reluctant to pull things off the market because it effectively puts blood in the water with respect to lawsuits and things.
It's a little too late for that.
It's quite possible that the fancy gun he had, and he had a very fancy version of it, was discounted because nobody wants one.
He probably just bought one. And he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with guns. Like a lot of these leftists, they all of a sudden go, oh, shit, I'm going to go get a gun. And he probably got played by somebody that was like, yeah, I'm going to sell this. I got to get rid of this piece of shit. I got to find some idiot who's going to buy this gun that everybody knows is defective and fucking dangerous and nobody wants it. And here comes old Pretty. He's like, I'll take it. Doesn't do any research. Probably has no fucking clue. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. I don't think that guy was that intelligent. Just my opinion.
And he looked to him like a good gun. Maybe some gun store didn't tell him, hey, there's something you should know. And so
he's like, this fucking idiot. He look at this dumbass fucking revolutionary LARPer. I'm going to sell him the SIG. I wonder if the guy who sold it to him was a MAGA guy. But yeah, finally I found an idiot that was willing to buy this SIG.
Could have walked in unwitting, but
Do we know anything about?
Yeah, that's what I heard too, Crumple. He only had it like for a few weeks before he was shot. So, well, from what I heard, he just like, I don't remember if he got fired or he stopped showing up to work. Like the guy seemed to be he was going through a divorce. He seemed to be having a mental health crisis, and I can't prove it. No one knows what was going on in his head, but he was behaving like somebody who had a bit of a death wish, you know. And there's a lot of people that try to get taken out by the cops when, they've reached a certain stage and they don't want to do it themselves, if you get my drift.
His history as a gun.
Plus, he could be a martyr. He could be a martyr, dude. And they did. They turned him into a martyr. They even made him prettier. They made old pretty prettier.
Owner, gun user.
A little.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this comes from his ex-wife and maybe his parents. They understood that he had a gun. They knew that that was the case and that he was not generally known to carry. So, in my opinion, much rests on whether he chose that day.
I guess I meant, was he a sportsman? Did he go? Did he do target practice? Did he have experience?
Maybe
Did he
once or
sort of
twice.
Barely know how to use it. You know, there's a lot of range of.
First, if he had any real experience with guns, he would have known not to carry a gun when he was going to stalk police officers and block them in as they're doing dangerous operations against dangerous people. He would have known that, unless he was trying to get himself, finished off by the law enforcement. So yeah, I think there's no way. I don't think this guy had any training. I'm speculating, but if he had any time at the range, it was probably very limited, not very much. And clearly there was no common sense training. There was no hey, yeah, if there's a chance you might get in a situation where cops need to enact an arrest on you, it's better to not have a gun on you in that situation, just in case. So I don't know, man. Maybe he was just stupid too. Or maybe, again, he had a death wish.
It's easy to get a concealed carry permit.
Yep.
And the range of people with such is presumably almost as wide as the range of people without, in terms of what they know how to do. And I don't know that anything else hinges on this. I'm just curious about what an ICU nurse who has already had interactions with law enforcement in the current environment walks into a known chaotic environment legally armed and being in full awareness and capacity with regard to how to use your weapon is different.
Hunter Vex, I love you, but don't talk that way about Brett's wife, okay? This lady is based as fuck. I always liked her because going back to COVID, they were on the money when it came to COVID. This lady's she's pretty smart.
From legally armed.
So forgive her tone, Hunter Vex. Shout out, brother.
With a weapon that you have shot a few times.
Right. Now, this is kind of what I'm getting at. And I want people not to focus so much on the details of the firearm as the analysis from the perspective of somebody who has been involved in these discussions about how to think about firearms and behave in a safe way. Mm-hmm. There are numerous things here which I would say he is legally entitled to do, but I would regard as reckless. And I don't mean legally reckless. Right. I mean reckless in the common parlance sense of the term. He's carrying a loaded firearm into a zone of conflict with armed federal officers. I wouldn't do that. If I was, let's say that's not a decision he made. Maybe he happened there by accident and somehow was not.
We know that's not the case. He's part of the Signal Group. He's been doing this for weeks, stalking ICE. Whenever they would be in their Signal Group going, "ICE spotted here," he's like, "On my way." He knew what he was doing. So maybe, I don't know, maybe just he doesn't have the whole picture of the Signal Group and how they're behaving, because a lot of people don't. We know because we've been paying attention. I've been covering it for the whole year of 2025, but that doesn't mean everybody, these guys that are super busy, really understand the big picture of what these leftists are doing right now.
Not focused on the fact that, hey, I need to be extra careful and not go this direction because I'm armed and it could get bad. But then he steps in as the officer is behaving, I think, in an illegitimate way towards this woman. Right?
Well, I know from you're asking if he had it in a holster. I don't know in the second video, but I know in the first video, it did not appear he had a holster. It appeared he was doing it gangster style, like action movie style, where you just put it in your back. You just stick it, you wear tight pants and you stick it in the back of your pants. That's what it looked like to me on the first video. Because the first video, remember, they took his jacket off. They pulled it off over his head and you could see the gun sitting there. So unless he changed the setup from then to the time he got shot, I don't think he had a holster. And I don't think he changed his setup because he was literally wearing the same thing. I wonder if the dude ever changed his fucking clothes. I wonder if he was just so mentally deranged, he's just fucking wearing the same clothes every day.
This officer shoves this woman to the ground and Peretti steps in. I would argue that's reckless if you're armed the way he is because of exactly the sort of thing that unfolds. I don't know that he had one in the chamber because I don't know that his gun went off. But if the gun went off,
I think people really do think the gun went off right now. I would say I'd lean more towards the gun going off. So yeah, if it did, obviously he had one in the chamber. But we need an official report. It's too hard to tell from that grainy footage. But the timing of the first shot, like there's no other way to explain where that first shot comes from. I don't know, man. It's too hard to tell. But it does seem like it was that SIG that misfired as it was being taken away.
It says he had one in the chamber, and I would say, wow, that's really reckless, especially with that gun. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of thing where you shoot.
The IWB holsters are hard to see. Okay, yeah, I'm not an expert on holsters, so it looked like he just had it shoved in the back of his pants. You know, like he's Mark Wahlberg in a fucking street gangster movie or some shit.
Your own leg, just taking it out of your holster. Because that gun doesn't have a safety. The only safety you have is not having one in the chamber. So,
I mean, what he's saying here is again, it's just more proof this guy, no fucking clue. Like, at least conservatives know, like, hey, I'm going to teach my kid very early on. I want my kid to be good with guns. I'm going to teach him about everything about gun safety. And then we're going to send him to courses about gun safety. We're going to have him shooting every day. And if I see him doing something that's not fucking right, that's not following proper gun safety, I'm gonna fucking tear his ass up. And then you conservatives grow up and they know what the fuck they're doing. And you know, accidents still happen, but it's more rare. And then you got these guys that just like hated guns 10 seconds ago, but now they want to wage civil war against the government. And then they go buy a gun and they make every mistake in the book like a fucking retard.
The number of things that suggest that this was not a sophisticated.
Previous videos showed a holster. Okay, I'll take your word for it, Holden Dansock.
Gun aficionado, but that this was somebody carrying a deadly weapon in a way that made the situation worse and not better. The number of things that point in that direction is substantial, and some of them are ambiguous, like did he have a round in the chamber? But we ought to be focused on that question because it does say something about what likely unfolded.
Yeah, we can pull this up. We can look. This is what I remember seeing. It was in the back of his pants. I don't remember seeing a holster, but let's look at it again. Since we're all wondering.
This is a moment the news.
I don't know. I mean, maybe one. Yeah, that looks like that might be a holster, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking he just shoved it in his pants, but yeah, it looks like he might have a holster there, but it's too hard to tell. I'm not a gun expert. I'm not going to claim to be a gun expert. I have shotguns and I have family members that have guns and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying I do or do not have guns. You leave it up to your imagination, but I am in no means a gun expert. But it looks like there might be a holster there. What do you guys think? Enhance?
Super chatted $5. I'm a bot and I got a stupid British accent. I wish I was American and could have a gun, but my teeth are so rotten my brain is infected.
Jesus.
God save the Queen.
Dude, let's start a GoFundMe for your teeth, Hunter Vex, bro. Let's we gotta save the British and their teeth. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the super chat. Hope you're doing good, Hunter. Yeah, I mean, look, it kind of looks like there's a little clip thing right here. You see that? That's not just the belt or the pants. Looks like an extra clip. So yeah, it's probably some sort of holster that allows you to just put it anywhere in your pants, I guess. I don't know. Again, not a gun expert. I definitely am not an expert in holsters. So we'll see. I'll say it does look like he has a holster, but I don't know.
Right. And was it a tragedy? Yes. A family lost
Cannon hands.
A son. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't a justified shooting. It doesn't mean that it wasn't mixed. The first person to shoot may have been justified and the rest may not have been. These are all things we would want to know.
So yeah, they got a good take on it. They got a good take. But I wish people would really take the time to go back. Because the thing that's frustrating with the internet is like videos that are important to what's going on right now that took place last year, they're not going to surface all of a sudden. Like, you got to go back and do the hard work of finding all the footage from like April or May of last year of these fucking people, and then just like go see how they're behaving. And then you understand this is not an innocent guy that just showed up. They were just doing a protest and raising their signs, and then ICE just showed up. No, they are stalking ICE. They are in their cars breaking tons of fucking laws, stalking federal law enforcement in order to impede their operations when they have to stop and do an operation. Or even sometimes they can just block them in at a fucking stoplight. They'll block them in at a stoplight, and then their protest is instantaneous right wherever ICE is. And then they say they're just protesters. They're not protesters, and I will never call them protesters. Not these people. Because then you're playing right into the lie that they're trying to build in order to like mislead everybody. Let's see. Nick Fuentes goes into Alex Pretty's disturbing recent history of violence. Yep. So it looks like Nick has seen the video. Let's see what Nick's got to say with his
the
porn
other one was
stash.
caught on video. This is from the news.
By the way, thank you guys for the super chats. If you do want to support the show, it's very much appreciated. Links are in the description. If you want to join the Discord to hang out, get notifications, chit chat about whatever, you can join the Discord. Links in the description, or follow me on my second channel, or you can send a super chat if you want to get in on the conversation and support the channel, or smash the thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Let's hear what Nick's got to say.
New York Times. It says, quote, "The nurse who was fatally shot by federal agents in Minneapolis on Saturday was pushed to the ground by different agents at a protest 11 days before he was killed, according to a newly unearthed video that shows him spitting and cursing at ICE and kicking a taillight and breaking it on one of their SUVs. The footage adds to what is known about the 37-year-old nurse, Alex Pretty, who was killed by federal agents on Saturday morning after they pepper sprayed him and pushed him and a woman to the ground, a killing that set off protests in the Twin Cities and across the country."
It's the framing just it's so easy to take a situation like this and only provide one side of the story, which is essentially ICE is the one that's all aggressive, and like it's no mention of what they're doing, no mention of the fact that they are stalking law enforcement in the streets, no mention that he's trying to de-arrest somebody, no mention that he's fucking breaking the law with a weapon.
In the earlier incident on January 13th, Mr. Pretty, wearing some of the same clothing as when he was killed, can be seen running toward a street corner where a crowd of protesters have gathered and are jeering at federal agents. He screams at agents, "What are you doing here?" He repeatedly curses at them, spits at one agent as he is getting into a vehicle. When the agents drive away, Mr. Pretty kicks twice at one of the vehicle's taillights, breaking it.
Look, I got to give Pretty credit. Those kicks were all right. He might have been training some kicking, you know. If he would have done less training on how to kick a taillight and more training on gun safety, he might still be alive.
That seems to prompt agents to get back out of the vehicle and push him to the ground. The agents, some of whom are with Homeland Security investigations, hold Pretty on the ground for about 20 seconds before letting him go and driving off. As Mr. Pretty gets back to his feet, what appears to be a gun is seen tucked into the back waistband of his pants. During the later confrontation with agents in which Mr. Pretty was killed, he had a gun holstered on his hip. Okay, so I've seen enough. Fuck this guy. Seriously. He is not a hero. He is not a martyr. He is not a patriot. As a matter of fact, he shouldn't even be considered a citizen. Fuck this guy.
Are we going to deport his dead body now? I think it's a little too late to take away his citizenship, you know? Some of you are talking about, look, here's a piece of advice to what you guys are talking about in the chat. Yeah, don't tell anybody your politics. Like when you're at a restaurant, you don't want, you just never talk politics. Just don't do it. Unless you know the people really well and you know you have that kind of relationship. Like, don't go to the restaurant and like talk politics with the waiter. Like, are you stupid? Do you want your food to be fucking spit on? Don't do it in the hospital either. Hell, you're probably like a 99% rate of getting a deranged leftist as a nurse. So you're probably better off just, if you are forced into talking politics, just be like, man, ain't that ice just terrible? Ugh. And then, change the subject and move on. And then maybe, she'll actually let you live and won't fucking suffocate you in your sleep. But yeah, it's just not a good idea, especially if you're on the right, to like wear your politics on your sleeve these days.
And I don't care that he died. 100% justified. Good riddance. Bye. One less piece of shit in the world. Good riddance. This is not a nurse, a veteran, whatever. This is a psycho. Who does this? Think about how psycho you have to be. This guy is out there and can barely.
You're not, if you have a nurse that you're afraid of, right? You get a blue-haired, tattooed fucking nose ring nurse, and she asks you your politics, you're not appeasing her by lying to her. What you're doing is you're fooling a dumb bitch into giving you good treatment, into thinking that you're on her side when you're not. So you're actually kind of like fucking her in a way. Like, oh, I don't want to appease her. Yeah, I'm a MAGA supporter, bitch. And then you're dead in 2 days. Good, you won. You didn't appease her. You didn't appease her. Congratulations. You don't get your pain medication now, and you get to sit there and suffering the whole fucking time.
Contain himself. There is no restraint. This is not normal. No normal person does this. You want to go to a protest, knock yourself out. You want to get bundled up in your parka. You want to go and bring your coffee and hold up a sign. You want to go with a friend and make your voice heard. God bless you. Honestly, that is your First Amendment right to speech, to assembly. We do live in a free society. Hey, God bless you. You want to go in daylight on a weekend or a normal day. You want to stand in a public place with your coat on and make your case. That is your prerogative. This is completely different. You have people going about their lives and in private, in conversations with coworkers and family and friends, they might not agree with what is happening. Some of them might feel very strongly and commit themselves to activism. Maybe they bring a box of Dunkin' Donuts to the protest. Maybe they make a sign and they go to the demonstration. Again, I don't agree with it. God bless you. This is somebody who is clearly on a mission. He is out there to confront law enforcement operatives. That's different. It is one thing to go in public and apply pressure to policymakers and voters. In a democracy, we have a representative form of government and we have elections. So if you want to go out in a public place that is owned by the people and you want to get your message out to prospective voters or to the representatives of the voters, again, that is how we.
I disagree. CWG says values are meaningless if you aren't willing to die for them. If your dying actually helps you achieve a victory, then great. Okay? Like, I can understand that kind of sacrifice. But letting a nurse snuff you out because you wanted to talk about your MAGA politics at the hospital, that just equals one less MAGA voter. Like, what are you going to change by tricking a dumb bitch who's deranged into thinking that you're not a MAGA supporter? Like, you got to think a little higher level thinking, bro. We're in a war, dude. You're tricking the enemy to giving you medical help. It's like, if I fucking was a pilot and I crashed in Nazi Germany, I was a World War II badass, American pilot, and I crashed in Nazi Germany. I'm going to go up to the Germans and be like, fuck you, Nazis. Or am I going to pretend like I'm a Nazi so I can get into the hospital and get, hopefully some life-saving care and then escape the country? Like, you got to think on that level, bro. This is high-level espionage spy shit, dude. What is it? Okay, I told her I like MAGA. And now you're dead 2 days later. And they're like, oh, man died in his sleep. And, another Trump voter dead.
We do things in the country.
But I kept my dignity.
But this guy is chasing law enforcement agents. Law enforcement is not elected. They are not representatives. These are people that have a job. These are people that have a job. They are public servants. They're working for the elected officials. And they are involved every day in life or death situations. Why do you think they carry guns? Because they are getting, in some cases, into violent altercations, physical altercations that could lead to death or serious bodily harm. So you have a guy he's not going to a protest. He's not a demonstrator. He is a terrorist. He is out there, he is an outlaw at the minimum. At the minimum, he is an outlaw. He is there to confront law enforcement and harass them, attack them, dox them, interfere in their operations. Do you think it's a coincidence that he happens to be at a place where a crowd of people is gathered around an ICE vehicle? Most people have jobs. Most people have a life. So how are you summoned to a random street corner where a group of people has spontaneously mobilized where ICE is carrying out an arrest? That means you are on top of it. You are in a group chat coordinating with people.
And they absolutely are. It's beyond a doubt now. I mean, we already knew this was happening. I remember hearing the first reports. I mean, you could tell once you saw massive amounts of crowds always telling ICE, and every time ICE did an operation, there was a massive crowd there. I mean, you can kind of put one and one together and go, okay, these people are very coordinated. They're tracking ICE's movements somehow, and they're able to basically just be on ICE like fucking a fly on shit. So obviously they're coordinated and communicating somehow. And then, we came out now that we got their signal chats. People have infiltrated this shit, which, wasn't difficult to do, I'm sure. You just pretend to be a retard, and they let you in. You just be like, I'm a retard. And then boom, they're like, oh, you're a retard like us? Okay, come on, come join our signal chats. And, but yeah, I mean, look, the left is never going to acknowledge any of this, though. They're never going to acknowledge it. They're going to continue to gaslight and pretend that they're just murdering protesters in the street. I mean, no one ever asked the question, why are these protesters and ICE at the same place? How did they come to be at the same place? No one even thinks to ask that question on the left for some reason. It's like they just want people to assume because they say protester that ICE must have just been bored and been like, we got nothing to do. Let's show up to their protests and murder a few of them. Like, no, they're fucking stalking ICE. They're stalking federal law enforcement, the United States government, as they're going about trying to do their operations. They're telling them with multiple vehicles, 10 plus vehicles sometimes. And then in every vehicle, they want them to have multiple people, right? So you have one vehicle, and if you can fit 5 people in that vehicle, you fit 5 people. And then once you're able to box in ICE, those other 4 people in your car get out, and they form the mob, the crowd, right? So you have, and everybody has assigned roles too. Like there are people that are just to drive, they're just to block them in and tell them. And then you have people that are there to show up and agitate, like exactly like what Alex Priddy was doing.
Sitting around waiting to be activated to go and assault cops. And then he sees cops. He is completely taken over by emotion, by rage. And you see the video. These are uncontrolled body movements. It's not like he's standing there holding up the sign and ICE is pushing them back.
Yeah, he finally had somebody to let all of his rage out on. He had all this rage that just been pent up, divorced, mental illness, hates himself. He's white. God cursed him by making him white. And then now finally he has the thing that he can just tunnel all of this rage at.
Something like that, a familiar scene. No, he is aggressive aggressive, uncontrolled, unrestrained, flailing around, running up on ICE, screaming, "Fuck you, what are you?"
CWG, I get what you're saying, but I think in this case, the sacrifice would not win you anything. If you can explain to me what victory you will be winning for your side by telling a nurse that you're MAGA and getting killed in a hospital. Like, are you assuming that like the world's gonna know that the nurse killed you? Because they're not. You're just gonna be another fucking guy that died in the hospital. They're not gonna. I mean, maybe you'll be lucky and somebody will blow the whistle and know the nurse killed you, but I doubt that. So, what victory are you getting? What are you gaining for the cause by dying in a hospital because you wanted to brag about your politics to a deranged leftist nurse? That's what I don't understand.
Doing here, spitting on them, flailing, kicking their car, kicking a car, kicking the car, breaking the taillight. That's someone who is insane. That is a violent nut job. And by the way, that's a crime.
Oh, yeah,
spitting on a cop is assault.
No. So is interfering, and so is like every step of the way they're committing federal crimes. You're telling a fucking federal officer, breaking the laws to like harass and tell a federal officer. You're impeding, interfering with their operations. That's a federal crime. Not to mention the assaults, the throwing of objects, the ramming with all the other shit they're getting into. And then that's the type of shit going on, and you're gonna take a gun with you. I mean, I feel like I'm just like repeating myself at this point because it's just so fucking stupid.
How is that a protest? Spitting on cops that are leaving the scene. It's not like some guy is brutalizing you and in an act of defiance, you are aggressively running towards ICE, confronting them as they leave, spitting on them, screaming at them, kicking their vehicle and breaking it. This cocksucker should be in jail.
Yeah, the first time he did it, he should have been in jail. That would have saved his life. And I will admit when DHS, ICE, when law enforcement fucks up, and they fucked up. They fucked up by I don't know, they were too scared of the situation. I don't know what it was that made him back down. I mean, it looks like he just kept fighting and they didn't want to get too aggressive because everybody's on camera. No one wants to be on camera, having to fucking really get control of somebody because it's not easy if somebody doesn't want to submit. There's a reason why they start getting rough with you and they might land some blows because that's how you get somebody to submit when they refuse to submit. You might have to whack them in the head a few times. And none of them want to do that because then they're on camera and they know it's going to be taken out of context and it's going to be, look, evil ICE attacking somebody. So maybe that's why when he fought and he was able to get away, they're just like, fuck it, let's just get out of here before they start throwing rocks again and the crowd gets even bigger.
Those are multiple crimes. I mean, you could throw the book at this.
They didn't have the facility for him? Is that what? The vehicle was already full of illegals. Okay, I didn't hear that, CWG, but if you know for sure, that would explain it. And that would give me a reason to give them a little leeway as to why they didn't arrest him. But I still would have been like, get another car. I'm walking his ass now. I don't know. It's a tough situation. If you're putting yourself in their shoes, you're dealing with a violent fucking mob all day long. Doing everything they can to try to get you to lose your shit. And yeah. They probably were just like, it's not worth it. And then if that's true too, that's even more reason for them to say, oh, fuck it. We don't even have room. Let's just go.
This guy. None of that is legal. None of that is defensible. Who behaves like this? They throw him to the ground and then they let him go. They throw him to the ground and then they let him go. And by the way, he does all this with a loaded gun in his waistband. So imagine you're a federal cop. You are federal law enforcement representing the United States of America. Some deranged lunatic is running at you, screaming, spitting, kicking, and
Here's another question. I thought about the other night and it just came back to me. Is it possible that he bought that SIG and that he was purposely given a gun that they knew might possibly go off on accident, and they gave that to him on purpose because the whole goal was to have somebody get murdered and become a martyr. And let's give him a gun that might accidentally go off. That's more of a chance that the cops will shoot him. if his gun just goes off for no reason. I don't know. Obviously, I'm out there with the thinking, but I wouldn't put it past some of these people because it really does feel to me that this is absolutely what they wanted to happen. They wanted a worst case scenario so that they could fucking 2020 it up with the, Black Lives Matter, similar, spin, but this time on ICE, where they're just killing us in the streets. Like they wanted somebody to die. It seems that way to me.
Has a visible loaded gun in his waistband in his pants.
He bought that SIG, but who did he buy it from? That's the question. Did he buy it from a store or did he buy it off somebody on the street? Again, that's an out there speculation,
What are you supposed to do? Now, in this situation, they throw him to the ground and then they let him go. This tells us so much. One, it tells us everything we need to know about this guy and what he was doing there and what his intentions are and what his end game is. Now we know who this person is just by that alone. But then it also tells us something about ICE.
I didn't realize I was on display full the whole time.
Which is, people are saying this is an uncontrollable Gestapo made up of undisciplined thugs. If that's the case, why didn't this guy get arrested? He assaulted an officer. He vandalized their vehicle. He's got a loaded gun. They apprehend him. They let him go. He didn't get punched in the face. He didn't get kicked in the teeth. He didn't get put in handcuffs. He didn't get taken away. He didn't get shot. Now, there's another story that he got thrown to the ground by ICE in a different altercation and broke his ribs.
Yeah, so I think there's more encounters. The encounter we saw that he survived, the encounter we saw that where he died. I think there are other encounters with ICE.
So this guy was just doing this.
Yeah, we got a video about that too. The left is claiming it's AI.
This is a guy.
It's so dumb. It's the same. You got multiple angles. Like I think there's even more than 2 angles. It's like, it's not AI, dude.
Profile now of a guy who went crazy, stopped going to work, became part of some kind of political operation of activists that are resisting the government. And he was irregular.
Well, see, Thomas Park says, so where did the person who got the gun to sell him get the gun? Then that's the next question. I'm just curious. I mean, if I was investigating, yeah, I'd want to know where he got the gun. Did he get it from some, like the John Brown gun club or something? You know what I mean? Like, did he get it from some left winger, who might be high? I mean, if he got it from like somebody connected to Keith Ellison, then yeah, my conspiracy that maybe they gave him a fucked up gun on purpose to increase the chances of something bad happening. That theory gets a little more credibility if the person who sold him the gun is like Keith Ellison's cousin or something. Again, I'm just speculating, obviously.
He is regularly getting in physical altercations.
It's a wild conspiracy. And, the likelihood of that being the case is probably like 1%. Most likely, he's just an idiot. Didn't realize he was buying a gun with severe defects.
With cops, clearly getting thrown to the ground all the time, spitting on them, and he's carrying a gun. And he was doing it multiple times. I guess he just did it one too many times.
Yeah, it's like playing Russian roulette, man. It's like, you do it, you might survive a couple times, but if you continue to do that, you continue to go and get into confrontations, physical confrontations with law enforcement while you're armed. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. You're rolling the dice. Eventually, you're gonna roll the wrong fucking number, and then they get to make you a martyr. Megyn Kelly sends a message to the Trump administration. If they decide to only go after criminal illegal aliens, I'm sorry, but that's not what we voted for. We voted for them all to get out. I agree. I understand you have to prioritize because you can't do them all at once. So it makes perfect sense to prioritize the worst of the worst. And is it just me or is Megyn Kelly getting so fucking based? It's crazy. It wasn't that long ago. She was at NBC doing hit pieces on Alex Jones, and now she's like the most base fucking blonde chick in the world. Let's hear from her.
What really happened was in an effort to take down the temperature, which was raised by these agitators on the street, Trump said, we're going to give up on anybody who's not a criminal. I know Tom Homan said we're not doing that. I know he said, no, we'll still, we'll go after the ones who aren't like also criminals on top of being illegals. We will. Like he basically made it sound like if we encounter them, We're going to get them. But the mission has changed. Don't fool yourself. Tom Homan went in. There was a divide between Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski reportedly on the one side and Tom Homan on the other, and a couple of others who are in his camp on who we should be going after. And Noem and Lewandowski wanted it to be everyone. Illegals who are here, period. And yes, we should prioritize the criminals, but like we should also be getting the illegals. That's what we were elected to do. And Tom Homan's general approach has been, and I understand it because we only have limited resources, worst first, the worst first. Let's prioritize the criminals. And now, believe me, it appears that the accommodation we've reached with these locals is we are just going to go after the criminals. And when Tom Homan was specifically asked, what about the others? Like this guy, he was like, oh no, they're still technically on the agenda. Oh, I mean, I'll play you the sound as we go through the opening. You'll decide for yourselves. I'm sorry, but that's not what we voted for. We actually did vote for all of them to get out. And so this is a win for these protesters. That it is. Like the president's ardent defenders are going to try to spin it as like, no, it's not. He hasn't given an inch. He's tripling down. No, he isn't. He isn't. I mean, it was very clear. And I love Tom Homan. He's doing the president's bidding. The president decided to turn down the heat because his poll numbers are falling on this. I get it. I get it all. But I'm not going to lie to you about what's happening. Administration officials may try to spin you. That's not happening here. So now we're going to prioritize just the illegals, just the ones who have committed an additional crime. And we are also drawing down the number of officers who are in Minneapolis.
I remember hearing a little bit of the Tom Homan press conference, and apparently because they're going to be cooperating, that's what they said. I don't believe it. That they're going to be cooperating with, DHS to basically, if they get a criminal that's illegal, they'll turn them over. But I agree with Megyn Kelly. This is definitely, people want to spin it to be like, oh, this is a victory. And it can seem that way. Like if the police are actually going to protect federal law enforcement when they call the police and are like, hey, there's a mob here. That's good. There are some things that are wins. But at the end of the day, to me, like what I wanted to see was, I wanted to see an insurrection act declared for Minnesota. And I wanted to see Tim Walz and Jacob Frey and all of them go to jail. And I wanted to see Trump come out and say, we're putting an end to sanctuary cities. You either are okay with that or you can go to jail, like Frey and Walz over here. That's it. I don't care about your fucking state policies. I don't give a shit. You follow federal law. We are in charge of enforcing border law, the federal government, the executive branch. It is our duty to enforce border law. You have no fucking say in it. Shut the fuck up. And if you don't want to follow, we're going to arrest you. That's what I wanted to see. That's the victory. And that victory is right there to be taken. I don't know why they don't take it. And it probably fucking would. And then you can kind of take over the narrative again too. Right? We're always letting them paint the narrative. Well, if we throw them in jail, they're going to paint the narrative of like, oh, well, they're a police state, using the Justice Department or using the federal government against its political enemies, blah, 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 blah. Bro, who cares? They're guilty. They're guilty. And then that's not even talking about the fraud either with Minnesota. You could probably lock them up for the fraud as well. We'll see. Walz is trying to say the fraud's it's all a fucking hoax now. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. They did what I said they would do. When the Nick Shirley video first came out, I was like, just watch. They're going to get some left-wing reporters to show up, and there's going to be a bunch of kids there. And, of course, that's what they did. And then they acted like Nick Shirley, he showed up at the wrong time. He didn't even look at our hours of operations. So Nick Shirley's just an idiot. He didn't know when to show up. You show up off hours, and you expect kids to be here. And it's like, okay, yeah. Okay. I would hope that we'd be able to investigate that and actually fucking prove the fraud at some point, but we'll see. Timcast goes scorched earth on the Alex Preddy situation following release of bombshell video. The left thrives on false narratives. Let's see what Beanie Boy has to say.
The left thrives on false narratives. And they're trying to create an image of a man who is peacefully protesting, who was executed. In reality, a man who was part of a coordinated network to commit felonies, it's what they're doing, backed by the state, showed up armed, intending to fight federal law enforcement. Let me stress this. This video proves his intentions are to fight feds, not to peacefully film, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It shows that he is intentionally trying to start these fights. He's an instigator committing several felonies, and he showed up armed. So I see these people saying, you know, I got into it with Maj Toure on X because he's, Maj, I'm just going to call you out on this one. You're rage baiting here, okay? I'm a fan, but I'm going to say you're rage baiting because Maj is claiming this actually proves that the feds committed first-degree murder and not manslaughter because of prior contact. I mean, that's just a silly argument, okay?
That's Candace level of just like connecting things that you really can't connect. Is that a possibility? That's a possibility. It's a possibility they might have recognized this guy. Not that I think it's very unlikely that they're like, oh, we're going to kill him next time we see him. But they probably, if they did recognize the guy, were like, oh, this guy had a gun. He already resisted arrest. This is a guy that's going to fight. He's not going to cooperate when we tell him to get down, to get off the street. He's going to fucking fight us. He's going to attack our vehicles. He's going to spit on us. They probably knew they were dealing with a nasty fucking character who was also armed. So that might have raised the stakes, you know, that might have made their adrenaline go a little more because you're thinking in the back of your head, how far is this guy going to go? Is this guy going to escalate until he actually decides maybe he's just scared now and doesn't have the courage, but at some point he's going to use that gun so he can, you know, enact some fucking terrorism on ICE? Like, you don't know that as an ICE agent. So it's possible, yeah, they could have had all that running through their heads, but we don't know. It's very possible as well that these ICE agents had these specific ones that were involved with the shooting had no prior interaction with them and had no idea. We just don't know. It's speculation. But yeah, you know, just make up whatever fucking possibility that fits into your worldview of what you want her to be. That's the way we do things.
Here's a guy. He shows up with a gun intending to commit felonies. Now, the argument everyone's making is you have a Second Amendment right and a First Amendment right. You can protest, you can be armed, they can't kill you for it. Yes, completely agreed. What you can't do is conspire to obstruct federal law enforcement, show up armed, trying to fight.
Yeah, everybody's got the same opinion as me because it's pretty fucking common sense. I mean, if you have all the information, it's really hard not to have the same opinion as me, unless you're just a dumb fucking commie. Or you're low information thinking you have the answers because you trust the people that are lying to you so much. It's just obvious. Look, here's some more bullshit. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. She's got to be put on ICE permanently. This is the way they're talking now. We also got Giancarlo Esposito or whatever, the dude from Breaking Bad, the guy that always plays a psychopath because he probably is a fucking psychopath, calling for revolution as well. But let's listen to this dude.
It's disgraceful. She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ICE permanently.
Now, is there any other explanation for that? That could mean something else other than she needs to be killed? Because I don't think I've ever heard that term other than, you know, something dead. Is there any other explanation that I'm not aware of for what that could mean? Because, like, he's trying to say we need to get rid of her, we need to impeach her, but then to say that specifically, that seems kind of like a code word for, yeah, and we need to kill her as well. That's what it sounds like.
It's disgraceful. She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ICE permanently.
And they're dead serious. He makes sure to say beforehand, we are dead serious. So, I mean, if you're saying beforehand, we are dead serious, then what you're saying is not like hyperbole. It's not like, oh, sorry, I did a Candace Owens hyperbole. You're like actually fucking saying it. By the way, I never use the word hyperbole, so that's why I have a hard time saying it. I need to use the word more often. I just did a Candace. But yeah, he said he's dead serious, so.
She's got to go. And by the way, she's not the only one. disgraceful.
She's not the only one, huh? She's got to go, which is, that can be interpreted to mean killed. But then when you say put on ice, what else could that fucking mean, dude? And this guy asked him, this Bill Malugin. It's like, what are you talking about?
Jeffries, do you have any regrets about the way you phrased the comment about Secretary Noem earlier today?
I've been very clear as it relates. Who are you, by the way?
Fox News, Bill Malugin.
I've been very clear.
The left always does that. Who are you, by the way? I got to know. Are you one of us? Are you one of the good journalists who's going to just do the propaganda that we want you to do? Or are you one of those that are going to ask me difficult questions?
Leader Jeffries, do you have any regrets about the way you phrased the comment about Secretary Noem earlier today?
I've been very clear as it relates. Who are you, by the way?
Fox News, Bill Malugin.
I've been very clear about the fact that Secretary Noem should either be fired or we will commence impeachment proceedings. What is unclear about that? That's what I've said.
You're saying she should be put on ice permanently. Don't you think that doesn't
No. Go question the president about what he had to say about Ilhan Omar. Go talk to the president about the fact.
Did he say that we should murder Ilhan Omar? I don't remember him saying that. Did he say that she should get the death penalty, maybe? I don't remember him saying that either, but I mean, maybe he said that. But that's one thing to say somebody should get the death penalty because they've broken laws. I would imagine it would be, something that would be decided in a court of law for the death penalty decision there. I don't know. But I think that's what he says here. Doesn't he say that?
He threatened the execution of 4 members of the United States House of Representatives who served this country in the military.
Did he do that? I'd believe it if he did that. Was it something to do with like being a traitor? Like this is what happened. Traitors get executed, or traitors used to get executed. Did he say some shit like that?
Or 2 members.
I don't remember. He probably did.
Don't talk to me about something.
But it doesn't matter. This is what they do. They always play fucking spin when they say some shit like that.
But I've been very clear about what I've said.
Yeah, what you said was you want to put her on ice.
That Kristi Noem should be fired because she's out of control.
I got to look this up. I got to see if Trump actually said this so I can get the context here. Because I think people do need to go to jail, but when you start talking about executions, like, that's a little hardcore. I honestly don't believe in the death penalty. To be honest, I don't. Because I don't trust the government not to execute innocent people. Let me see. Did Trump? Oh. I'm going to try to AI search this because it's going to be too difficult to see what the AI says. No, Donald Trump has not directly called for politicians to be executed in the sense of explicitly demanding or ordering their execution. However, he has made statements that many interpreted as implying or endorsing the death penalty for certain political figures or opponents. Often in heated or hyperbolic contexts, these have drawn widespread criticism as inciting violence or threats, though Trump and his team have denied intending literal calls for execution. Trump posted on Truth Social about a group of Democratic lawmakers and several House members, all veterans or former intelligence officials, who released a video urging military personnel to refuse illegal orders. I remember this now. Yeah. I mean, but okay, the details do matter. Trump called their statements seditious behavior from traitors, and seditious behavior is punishable by death. Those two things are absolutely true, and that was absolutely seditious behavior. So, in that case,
Jet 4804 super chatted $4.99. Do you think Nick Shirley is a Fed?
No, could be. I'm not going to say he's not, but I don't have any reason to think he's a Fed. I don't know why. Is everybody saying he's a Fed now? Is that the new thing? Nick Shirley's a Fed? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Nick Shirley's a Fed. But, you have to be suspicious of anybody that just starts getting a lot of attention. When the algorithms start really blowing certain people up, which with Nick Shirley, if you followed his YouTube channel, before he blew up with this latest one, he blew up on Twitter. But a lot of his YouTube shit was getting demonetized. Like YouTube was really kind of not being nice to him. So he wasn't getting like the Candace treatment or anything. And then that video blew up on Twitter, really is where it mostly blew up, his fraud video. But yeah, anybody that's getting pushed by the algorithms, you need to be suspicious a little bit. They're not all going to be feds, but there's a possibility that some of them are. But yeah, so this is not the same thing. So Trump's saying it. He's talking about people telling people to disobey the fucking orders of the president, which is seditious behavior. And if you're found guilty of sedition, that is the old school punishment for it. Whereas this guy wants to kill the head of DHS because she merely is enforcing the laws that the country passed legally, you know? So they're kind of not the same thing, but okay.
Control.
This is what they're so good at. They're so good at this. They're so good at this bullshit where he could literally say, we should kill Kristi Noem. He could say that and then spin it to some other bullshit that now I have to research whether Trump said some other shit. So fucking stupid.
And if she's not fired, we're going to commence impeachment proceedings? What's unclear about that?
Well,
Something ambiguous about that?
Well, it's just, don't you think both sides should be helping turn the temperature down a little bit?
Yeah. He knows what he said. I think they might want some violence, bro. It wouldn't surprise me.
At Freeman
They might
3
want some
super
more. It's
chatted
not enough.
$20. I wonder if there ever was a charge called barbarism, and Nick being a Fed is 5 years old. He still might be one though, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. He is pretty young to be a Fed. Like, how old is Nick? He's in his early 20s, right? Like early 20s. Yeah. And somebody said that Nick's doesn't have he doesn't communicate good enough to be a Fed. I mean, that's possible as well, but I mean, maybe the Fed saw beyond, you know, his lack of communication skills and were like, oh, this guy's a genius. He just kind of sounds like an idiot. Because I think that is the case with Nick. I think Nick is a very smart guy. He just, you know, life sometimes is like an RPG. You only have so many skill points to put towards different skills. You can't max every skill point out unless you cheat. I mean, you could cheat, do steroids, and I don't know. I don't think we've discovered a cheat yet for fixing speech impediments. Or yeah, they are. You can fix speech impediments. You can get like work. I don't know, man. Maybe I bet you if he spent a lot of time, he went to a speech therapist or whatever. Like people that help you with mumbling or not mumbling, but stuttering, you know, stuff like that. He could probably work on it and figure out what the issue is. It seems like there's a little bit of a lack of self-confidence too. Like he's not very confident in front of the camera. So it might just also be something where you give it like another couple years of him just getting more comfortable in front of the camera. He might get a little more confidence and just speak better. Maybe not, you know, high level, but definitely better than he's at now. Anyway, that's enough about Nick Shirley and his problem speaking. Here's Giancarlo Esposito of Breaking Bad looking like he's auditioning to be the next I don't know. What is this, a role he's playing, or is this the way he really looks every day? Is that his normal? Is this his normal outfit, or? Yeah, I got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes. You know, some Willy Wonka shit going on.
This is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. You know, some very rich.
Does he think he looks cool with this? Is he purposely trying to look stupid? I don't understand. Is this the new trend? It's like, oh, let me find the shit that looks the worst. Let me figure out how I can look really dumb. And that's the drip now. That's what's cool. I don't know. He looks like a retard dressed him.
Old white men are exerting their power to suppress our own people, thus creating a feeling of civil war in the streets.
This is NBA. I don't watch NBA. I retired from watching basketball when Jordan retired. Other than when the Spurs won some championships, you know, little parties and shit, and you know, but I don't really give a fuck about basketball anymore. But I mean, just because other people can dress like retards doesn't mean you're still not dressing like a retard. I mean, this does not look good. There's no world where these colors should ever be together, and these sort of glasses should ever be worn, unless you're playing a bad guy in like a really like a steampunk. You're like a steampunk bad guy or something. You're like a bad guy in Dick Tracy, or like you know, Who Shot Roger Rabbit or something. Like if you're playing like a character like that, maybe you can wear glasses like that. But if that's your normal dress, your daily wear, you probably have some mental issues.
Preparing the haters to hate, teaching them how to shoot. They're not even trained right, to kill. This is all a preparation for a very insidious problem that's happening in our world. And for
he used big word. So what problem is that? Can you elaborate on what the problem is? It's so insidious. What problem though? Explain to me the details of the problem, please. Well, we got Nazis. Okay, who are the Nazis and what makes them Nazis? Well, because they're killing people in the streets. Okay, why are they? Are they really killing people in the streets? And how? What? I can't even imagine trying to fucking debate with this guy.
I have to speak out that we will not be iced out. This is not going to happen. They can't take us all down. If the whole world showed up on Putin's doorstep or on the Iranians' doorstep or in Washington, it would stop. They'll kill 550.
This is what you're gonna do on the red carpet. You're gonna tell people to like just storm. We should get like a French Revolution mob to just show up and you know what mobs do in those situations, right, Giancarlo? You want that? Because what? We can't have border law. That's a problem. We're not allowed to enforce border law. Are you going to be showing up, Giancarlo? In your little blue fucking weird ass outfit? You going to show up in that outfit? I don't think you're going to be there, Giancarlo. I think you're going to be wherever the fuck you hide at in your fucking $1 million mansion. Is he gay? Nothing wrong with it, by the way, but I'm getting gay vibes. I didn't know if he was gay before. I know he'd been divorced, and like, I remember hearing stories about him that he was like, before he got the Breaking Bad role, his career was so bad he was going to himself. Which again tells me he's probably not very mentally well. I mean, you know, I'm not saying everybody that has those type of thoughts are mentally unwell, but you know, it's a good sign of mental unwellness. And it makes sense. It's all coming together now.
Million, however, but the rest of us would survive with a new.
Yeah, I would survive. All of you guys would die, but we would have our communism. Yeah.
It's time for a revolution.
Hopefully the government will give you acting roles, bro. I mean, it's not going to pay as well when the government's fucking putting together their government-funded movies.
It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. But we have to be strong enough to know that we can change the world. We have to change it from within. So if I'm spiritually ready and right, you know, and I'm ready to understand other people and to agree to disagree with them and say, okay, let's find the solution together, then that starts to change things.
Yeah, let's listen to this guy who pretends to be a bad guy in movies. Obviously, he has all the answers. Like, people that pretend to be other people, that play make-believe for a living, those are the people we really need to listen to. Let's go, guys. Viva la revolution! He's a good actor, though. He was great in Breaking Bad.
Not by deporting immigrants, not by killing brown and even white people on the street. It's crossing over now, and believe me, this is gonna really spark the nature of so many people who are gonna show up and say no more. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Is he just gonna steal lines from movies now? Can't even. Whoa! What's going on there, bro? That's like he's looking at his masters. He's like, I did it. Masters, you wanted me to start a revolution. I did it. Yes, master. What would you like me to do next? What would you like me to do? I will command the mob to murder people. I think we saw the mask slip there for a second. Look at that. I think that's all you need to know right there. This tells you the whole story right here. Master, yes, you want me to tell him revolution, right? Yes. Yeah, border law's bad, right, master? We're on to you, Giancarlo. We're on to you, bro. You ain't tricking us. Oh, here's Tim talking about Giancarlo Esposito.
Clip. You can hear what the guy said for yourself, and then, yeah.
This is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. You know, some very rich old white men are exerting their power to suppress our own people, thus create that
important component of this man. And I tell you what is the most important component of this is not that a celebrity is calling for revolution. It's that you can see it in his eyes. He doesn't know what this will mean. He doesn't know what this will mean. The horrors you will experience are beyond your comprehension. Go talk to any real combat veteran. Go talk to one of these guys doing wet works in foreign countries and talk to them about what happens when the system falls apart. Talk to them about in Egypt, when the military decided they could not keep a hand on the Muslim Brotherhood, so they showed up with AKs and started mowing people down, just killing them in the street. This guy doesn't understand. He'll be sitting in Santa Monica, sipping his coffee, saying, I think the rich white, boom! And then half his face is blown off and he's sitting there shaking. Can't hear anything with blood dripping from his mouth.
That's exactly how his character in Breaking Bad got it.
Spoiler alert. This clip.
I think, look, it's possible he's just another useful idiot, but he probably knows what's up. These people will do anything for a movie role, bro. They would murder like a family member for a murder role.
Freeman 3 super
What's up,
chatted
Freeman?
$10. Patrice O'Neill termed it being in the belly of the beast.
Yeah. It's a nasty thing, man. Like the levels that people will go to stay in the good graces of the powers that be, especially when you're talking fame. Oh man, like these people, that's all that matters to them is that they're famous. Like look at him. He was going to kill himself if he didn't make it as an actor. Like obviously to him life wouldn't even have been worth it unless he achieved this level of fame that he thought he deserved. A lot of people that have that thinking and they're fucking deranged and they will go to any lengths to achieve some sort of fame. Speaking of people who do that, Davey. I'm just kidding. Davey's not fame hungry at all. This is Davey's chick, and I'm telling you, she's the most base chick ever. And I saw a video, and honestly, she's the greatest thing that ever happened to Davey. She's setting him straight. Because he was like, not too long ago, if you remember, he was a woke cuck retard. And then he meets this hottie, and like all of a sudden, he's the most base fucking dude in the world. And you're going to understand why in a second.
2181 super chatted $4.99. He probably worships Che without realizing what Che would have done to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's read Marx and he's like, oh, Marx is so great. Marx is great. We're going to do it right this time. We're not going to fuck it up this time. Yeah. So yeah, she did this, she does, base fucking takes on whatever's going on. And she was talking about the Pretty shit. And she reacted to the second video of him kicking the tail light and spitting and all that. And all of her comments were just people saying it was AI. Which I've seen a lot of that too. Here, let me turn this up.
Living in a simulation. And I actually...
This is Davey's chick, by the way. You should go follow her.
cannot believe...
I told Davey he needs to marry her immediately. She's really set Davey straight. Like, Davey used to be fucking woke retard. And now he's like base fucking badass, dude. And it's all because of her. Thank you. Thank you, Della Dream. I don't know your real name. I'm guessing it's Della something. I don't know if that's even a real name, Della. Oh, I'll go with it. Thank you for saving my man Davey from a life of crazy derangement. Because the only women I saw him dating was deranged leftist bitches who were corrupting his fucking mind. So thank you. Thank you.
with my own eyes that what I am experiencing right now is real. Okay, so liberals are retards, right? We all know that liberals are retards. But when you're, okay, so you know that as like a citizen or whatever, that liberals are retards. I'm like a content creator in this space. So I'm going to tell you what it's like, just like a glimpse of what it's like for me in this space, because I get to see a lot more of these people than just even the average person does. And do not come in my comment section saying, oh, those are bots. Those are bots that are saying that they're just paid bots. It's just a click farm, whatever. No, I'm talking about real human beings in my comment section. So the Alex Preddy shit came out. I posted a video and I was like, yo, I just want to make sure this isn't AI. So I like found it before it like became a national news story, like moments before, I found like the sources. I found the guy that filmed it, and the guy that filmed it is like, yo, I was there, this isn't AI, I literally filmed this or whatever. So I found that guy, and then I found the BBC facial recognition thing that like made sure that that wasn't AI. As I'm finding this, I make a video on it. A new camera angle comes out of somebody that was there during that incident filming from a different angle of him doing that shit, okay? So in the meantime, national news sources are starting to pick up on this story. Their Lord and Savior CNN, NBC, MSNBC, fucking Fox News, every major news source.
I mean, long story short, everybody in her comment section was saying it was AI. The left has like been just, I don't know, I guess it was a shock to their system because everything they've heard about Petty was that like he was this fucking gentle man who was just there to protect people, and then they get this video of him looking like a deranged fucking lunatic spitting at people. And it's not just the spitting, the kicking, it's like Nick Fuentes was saying earlier, the mannerisms. Like he was like foaming at the mouth, like he's like going nuts. And they're like, there's no way this is real. There's no way. There's no way. And like the brain must have just been so hard for them to process. Like, oh, fuck. He actually wasn't a gentleman.
In the nation is reporting.
Maybe they were right. Fuck. They were right again.
Reporting on this now at this point. Alex Preddy's family came out and said on the record, this is him in this video. This is a real video. His family came out and said it on CNN. CNN, NBC, MSNBC, multiple sources, multiple angles.
So you got to stop caring about the comment section. I know I say that, and then I'll care about my comment section. It's hard not to. But I don't know.
So here's a link to the original
I don't know if you can fast
video,
forward.
because I was doing some digging. Obviously, I wanted to make sure it wasn't AI before I made a video on it. Which is harder than you'd think. These.
Let's see. Oh.
So here's a link to the original video. Because
did I change the video? I think I did. I don't know. Which one was it again? I don't even remember. This one, right? That's what I don't like about Instagram.
So
I have to watch the whole fucking thing. I can't scroll ahead. Is there a way to get fucking...
There's a singer on Spotify with 3 million monthly listeners. And
Instagram doesn't want you to fucking navigate on the PC, because I'm on a PC because I do a show. I'm not on my phone. But yeah, essentially she got a bunch of comments about yeah, this is her and Davey. It was a ton of comments, and we're all seeing this online. Everybody thinks it's AI. That was their whole fucking thing, and it's just hilarious, dude. And there is a thing where people are like thinking things that are AI that are obviously not AI, and I get it, but it's not that hard when you really look closely at something to spot the differences for now. But there might be a time where it might be legitimate, where we're going like, damn, I can't tell. And this is my favorite video.
Hey, Lindsey, why don't you just...
My favorite video of Lindsey Graham right here.
Hey, Lindsey, why don't you just admit that you're gay, and then people won't blackmail you anymore? Hey, Lindsey, why don't you just admit that you're gay, and then people won't blackmail you anymore?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a point. He's got a point. Lindsey, what are you doing? It's 2026, bro. There's no reason to stay in the closet, dude. Okay? Okay, what, are you not going to get elected again in what, North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever the fuck you're from? They don't care. They don't care if you're sucking dick, Lindsey. Jesse Ventura is talking about Minnesota joining Canada. I've kind of been like, would I care if Minnesota wanted to secede? Yeah, I don't know. I'd hate to see us lose Minnesota because of a bunch of crazy fucks. I don't know, man. I don't know how I'd feel about it. I don't know. I do think states should be able to secede if they want to, though. I do think if Texas wanted to secede, we should be allowed to secede and not have to, be attacked by the fucking federal government. So I guess I should grant Minnesota that same courtesy. Go ahead, go join Canada. Be a fucking shitty Canadian with their shitty healthcare and their fucking ridiculous taxes. And yeah, you're gonna probably want to come back in no time.
One that thinks, let me throw this out on your show and we'll get some headlines. How about since Trump dislikes Minnesota so bad and we're so out of control, let's join Canada. Instead of Canada becoming the 51st state of America and lose their health care, like they said, they would never do that because they'd lose their health care. I'd like to see Minnesota, all of us become Canadians.
Secession
and
is
make
the solution.
make this part of Canada, because it's obvious Donald Trump don't want us. It's obvious that he's ready to fracture the whole country for his own folly, whatever he is doing. And
well, he's pulling
I
federal
think
funding, right?
well, I think we should petition to get out of the United States and become if they don't want us, I'm sure Canada would be happy to take us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would hate to see Minnesota leave. But I mean, what are we going to lose? What really would we losing Minnesota? That's a good question. I should ask Rock. How old is Jesse Ventura, dude? How old is this guy now?
At Polish Pride 68
What's
super
up, Polish?
chatted $10. My money is on Texas versus the cartels.
You think we could take out the cartels? Or, yeah, I mean, look, we're Texas, bro. I mean, we don't have the United States military. That's always the part that's a little like, oh, shit. But, we just have to start our own fucking military. And we got a lot of people. There's a lot of people in Texas. We'll figure it out. I mean, we might be better sometimes because, a lot of these states rely too much on the federal government when they could be proactive and taking care of their own fucking problems. But yeah, Jesse Ventura, how old is he? Thank you for the super chat, brother. 74. Yeah, Jesse's he seems to be getting worse with age. I don't know. I do get the healthcare argument. I understand that. It would be nice to have a better healthcare situation in America, and it seems like neither party really wants to fix the problem. One party just wants to be like, okay, well, you have to buy insurance now. It's like, okay, so now I have to buy a product that's $2,000 a month that I can't afford. How's that fix the problem? And then, I mean, Trump, it's I don't know. It seems like Republicans don't think they have to address that. And it's like, dude, that's another major issue. It sucks. It sucks. We are gouged to death for healthcare in this country. And it shouldn't be that way. And it's not just that it's a private fucking industry. It's corruption. It's corruption. It's fucking leeches in the system that are just trying to enrich themselves, not offering anything. And it's if you allow people to gouge people when they're vulnerable, they're going to do it. People that are dying and sick, they'll pay fucking anything. So obviously that's somebody that's open to being fucking coerced out of lots of fucking money. And you need a system that protects them without going full commie. I don't know, man. I think you get a lot of the leeches out of the system. You promote mom and pop doctors again. And just get a lot of the leeches out of the system will probably fix it. And I think getting insurance out of the system when it comes to insurance being involved with healthcare would be a huge fucking game changer. And the insurance companies they're just making everything more expensive. They're not making anything better. And then they deny you coverage when you fucking need it. So it's such a fucked up system. Alex Preddy is Mersh. Now, Alex Preddy is Ari Shafir's brother. They're fucking related. Everybody, Alex Preddy, yeah, to me, Ari Shafir, but also, who's the comedian who died? Steven. I forget his name. Brody Stevens. He looks like Brody Stevens to me. Doesn't he look like Brody Stevens? You guys remember Brody Stevens? The comedian who, had a battle with depression and then lost his life. He looks like Brody Stevens, bro. That's who he is, dude. He is Brody Stevens. Brody Stevens never died. He went undercover with the government to be a trained assassin to fight Trump's Gestapo. Norm? He don't look like Norm, bro. He look like Norm. I'm pretty sure Alex is related to any other Jewish comedian. You mean Jewish? Does it block you guys from saying Jewish now? That's crazy. Can't even say Jewish in the chat. What a world, bro. I love the Jews. You should be allowed to say Jewish. You know, what if I want to say I love the Jewish people? I'm not allowed to say that? Is that blocked in the chat? You're blocking people from spreading love in the chat? What's up with that? You guys want to see the clip? All right, we'll get to this last one. Which one was this one? Oh, yeah, Nick talking shit about Candace Owens. Yeah, we'll end it on this one.
I've been saying it for years. The biggest red pill is that most people are fucking retarded.
Yeah, this is absolutely true.
That is the biggest red pill.
This is true.
If you are an intelligent person, the biggest red pill you will find, excuse me, and I think most people sort of know this, but you really need to process this, is that most people are completely retarded. Because what does it say about the country that this is one of the most popular podcasters that is around? By far. It ain't even close. I mean, she's got millions and millions of downloads on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. People are signing up in her like army.
Yeah, but I don't think people are following her because she's so intelligent. She was just willing to do what a lot of people would have probably, even, you know, people on the internet who have very little morals, weren't willing to do, which was to grift off of the death of somebody to make money. And like, people love drama and fucking, oh, somebody was assassinated and there's a JFK style conspiracy around this assassination. And then you have the drama of Candace was connected to them and now she's calling him out. It's all just like drama, soap opera bullshit. That was the appeal. And I think it was mostly women and a few dumb men.
And it's like this every day.
It's probably the dudes, because, you know, I used to run into every now and then you see these dudes who like would watch soap operas with their wife or with their mom. So you have dudes that are into like all of my children, or what was the name of these? General Hospital and what was Days of Our Lives, you know, these type of soap operas and shit. There are men who watch that shit, believe it or not.
Hey, history, pronouncing words, science, just basic stuff. And you go, how are people not catching this? But I mean, this is the type of crowd that watches Sean Hannity. It's the type of crowd that thinks Kai Cenat is really funny. It's like Kai Cenat not being able to read.
He can't read? Kai Cenat can't read?
Go, who is influencing the population? How
Is
do
that
people...
true? I don't know the guy that well. I've seen clips, you know, you can't hide from the clips on X, but I usually pass them over. He can't fucking read, really?
Watch this and you go, they're even dumber than the influencers. Probably Candace Owens' audience is even dumber than her, and that's scary. That's disturbing. I see another clip from the other day. She's arguing with Bill Maher about the moon landing. Bill Maher said, well, we went back to the moon a bunch of times. She goes, we did? He goes, yeah, we went back to the moon like 10 times. She goes, oh. It's like, well, okay, what are we doing? Like, what do you know? You don't know anything. Anyway.
Xerox says her Kirk story went like The Walking Dead. First few episodes and you like, oh man, it's just getting good. And by the 15th season, it doesn't even resemble what it was. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because even I was kind of tuned in at the beginning. Like, remember she got that camera footage from behind Charlie Kirk and then like they let her watch it. And I was like, she was actually like kind of reporting in a way that like was interesting. And then it just got insane. I think I remember it starting to go insane when she started talking about the trap door. And then all the crazy conspiracies about, oh, the shot came from the side. Oh, look, you can see the bullet. The phone caught the bullet in midair. And you could see he shot from behind. You can see the front is the actual exit wound. And like, and then all of those end up getting debunked. And then it's the guy with the wrist gun. Oh, it's the camera. The gun was the camera. The mic lapel exploded. it just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And the maroon t-shirts, the maroon army, the army of people wearing, like, yeah, at the beginning, it started almost like she was interested in actually getting answers. And I mean, we will be getting hopefully some answers soon. I really hope. Probably February. I don't know the timeline for the trial of the assassin, but I do want to see all the evidence that the state is sitting on. That's going to be interesting. See what more they know that they've been hiding. Anyway, thank you guys. Hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. You know, I did my best. This was a slow news night. There was nothing amazing like popping in the fucking news for me to talk about. So, and it seems like you guys want me to do 7 days a week, because as soon as I take a day off, people get mad at me. Like, I saw a comment yesterday. He was like, well, how do you expect us to be here when you don't even show up? And it's like, well, I do like 4 to 5 shows a week. But the second I don't do a show, then it's like I don't show up. It's my fault, because I'll say sometimes I'll be here tomorrow and that I won't be. So that's my fault. But that's just because I'm stupid and I say that at the end, and I shouldn't say that. Because I don't know. I just say that because I need something to say at the end of the show to not have dead air. So I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow. And a lot of times I intend to do a show tomorrow because I expect things to happen. And then the next day there's like no news. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll just come in and talk about whatever, you know, or maybe I should wait till there is some news that I want to talk about. But I clearly have to do 7 days a week. So I'm going to try my best. Obviously, I'm going to take days off here or there, but I'm going to try my best to not take too many days off in the future and get as close to everyday show as possible, with maybe like 1 day off on the weekend. I appreciate you guys. 6 to 7 shows a week. Yeah, I mean, you know, the problem with that, El Jefe, is I have to overcome days where like I just don't feel like there's that much to talk about. And it's like, okay, do I just hang out and chat with the chat? Do I make those days like member only shows or something? You know? Do I just get on here and wing it for 2 hours? I mean, that's hard to do, bro. It's hard to talk for 2 hours when you don't have something you actually want to talk about, you know? And you're just going to wing it. I mean, I could do it, but then, you know, who knows how that goes? Chill stream? Yeah, we'll call them chill streams. That's what we'll do. When I don't have news, we'll just call it a chill stream. That's a good idea. I did one of those already, and people seem to show up. I'll just call it the End of the World Chill Stream. I think that's what we'll do. We'll call it End of the World Chill Stream anytime there's no news and we're just hanging. I guess that might work. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you on the next episode. I should be here tomorrow, okay? Don't get mad at me if I'm not here tomorrow. Okay? Don't be mad. I will be... I'll be here the next day. Now, I'm going to try to do a few more shows this weekend. Probably, if everything goes right, I'll do Friday, Saturday, and probably take Sunday night off. So, anyway, much love, everybody. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out. Links are in the description if you want to support, if you want to join the Discord. Much appreciated. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch.
Thank you, El Jefe.
You might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notification.